Good evening all, I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. The island of Bimini is the focus this weekend as practitioners with the financial services sector convene for a summit. Last evening, they heard from the nation's leader who challenged them to stay ahead of the financial game as those in this vital sector chart the way ahead. Our Joan Davis Rolle traveled to that northern island and filed this report.
Movers and shakers within the multi-million-dollar financial services sector in the Bahamas have converged on the northern island of Bimini for an annual retreat. The event, hosted by the Bahamas Financial Services Board, officially began with a dinner at the luxurious Zabora restaurant at Bimini Bay. There, the nation's leader, the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, commended organizers for convening on Bimini, an island that he says is about to take off. The nation's chief underscored the significance of this sector to this country's overall growth and development.
This is the 10th annual International Business and Finance Summit, hosted under the theme this time of staying ahead of the game. I think it is an appropriate theme for the purposes of your work in the Bahamas. We must stay ahead of the game. It is good that you're going to be focusing on it because the theme reflects on the need for continuous improvement in services, products, and positioning to maintain our standing as a competitive financial center.
The nation's chief reiterated that the government will do its part to ensure the sector's continued success.
As the second largest industry in the Bahamas, financial services must always be a robust industry, growing from strength to strength to support the overall standard of living to which Bahamians have become accustomed. We are diligently working to strengthen the ties between the financial services sector and other sectors. We would like, particularly for our tourism and financial services sector, to collaborate on an initiative specifically designed to encourage more people to create and/or expand their bases of operations in the Bahamas.
The Prime Minister told those in attendance that it is vital that this country maintains its status globally. He commended those in the financial sector for the 50-50 partnership between the government and the private sector. This, he says, must and will continue.
We are pleased that the Bahamas has implemented a regulatory framework for our financial services industry that conforms to international best practices and standards. The Bahamas also remains engaged in various international fora that seek to ensure that the integrity of a global financial system is sustained, such as the OECD Global Forum on Transparency and Exchange of Information for Tax Purposes, the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, the Group of International Financial Center Supervisors, International Organization of Securities, and the International Association of Insurance Supervisors.
Joan Davis Rolle, ZNS Network News.
While education officials await a report from Environmental Health regarding a possible mold problem at the St. Vincent de Paul campus, the head contractor is addressing technical issues that may have led to those health concerns at that institution. Megan Shepard reports.
Contractor McDonald says that technical issues stem back to previous repairs that were carried out before the government leased the St. Vincent de Paul campus. He says windows were installed with caulking and left exposed to the elements, and over time this caused cracking in various spots.
As a result of that, during high wind and rain, meaning that the sills were not properly sloped, and through those cracking, water could have seeped into the block wall. So I then immediately exposed the area, take the damaged caulking or exposed area, allowed it to dry properly, treated it with tongue and country, and replaster it back in a builder's fashion, ensuring that it's been properly caulked and properly sloped.
McDonald says that as an extra precaution, he made repairs to all of the classrooms facing the sea. He adds that the classrooms were then inspected and approved by local company Town and Country. McDonald says as far as the administration building is concerned, there were also signs of a leak.
That was corrected, taken out, proper flashing put back, and shingled properly. And for the precaution, I thought it was necessary to remove all of the existing R19 insulation and bag it properly and disposed of it. Since then, we've had several heavy downpours. I've followed up, and to the best of my knowledge, I've not seen any sign of any water getting in to the roof, nor to the area I spoke to earlier.
Now, McDonald noted that he could not speak specifically to the issue of mold, and his opinion is simply from the perspective of a contractor. In the meantime, Superintendent for that district, Mary Cooper, says preparations have already been put in place to ensure the health of everyone at the school.
We have made arrangements, and this morning 3 of the teachers would have visited the Hawkesbury Clinic, and then 3 more will attend tomorrow. We've also asked to make arrangements to see that the children are also examined by the doctor. But we've had no indication at the moment that there's been any illness as a result of any mold in the school.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Megan. Well, a man wanted by Abaco police is now in custody. Police say Larry Dorellis was captured in an area at Southside Road, Abaco, around 2 p.m. yesterday. Now, according to the authorities, officers also discovered a .40 caliber firearm with 1 live round of ammunition, a bulletproof vest, and a number of stolen items at that location. Police say Dorellis, who was wanted on housebreaking charges, will be arraigned before the magistrate's court for numerous offenses, both in Abaco and on Grand Bahama. Well, the Grand Bahama family is distraught over a recent police-involved shooting that claimed the life of their loved one in Abaco. Tonight, they're speaking out and calling for justice. Sabrina Brown reports.
Job Terry Munnings, also known as Versatile, was shot and killed by police in the mud in Abaco just over 1 week ago. Family members are trying to cope with the sudden loss, and Job's father Terry says they want answers and they want justice.
They kept on telling me one story after the other, that Job tried to fight the police with a gun, and another story that the 3 police was in front of Job off a distance. And Job didn't have a gun. Job didn't have my son. Died in vain. They told me that they mistaken. Mr. Greenslade told me that they mistake him for the wrong person.
Job's father and sister, Jacqueline Curry, are also disturbed that initially they were not being allowed to view Job's body.
We all wanted to view his body, and they refused to let me see the body. All I saw is the head, and they wouldn't let me see my son's body. And for what reason, I don't know. That's my son.
We had a meeting with the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Greenslade, who confirmed that we could come here at the Ryan Memorial Hospital and view Job's body, his whole body. It was not said that only 2 persons can go in. People came from Nassau because it was said that they can see it, and they were not allowed.
Job was a singer, songwriter, and rapper who had recently moved to Abaco. Jacqueline says her brother only wanted to succeed in life.
Job never body nobody. A decent, respectful young man who went about selling his DVDs, selling his CDs, playing music, making music. When I Die was one of his first songs. A lot of people know it. Some things gotta change one day. Another song. He wrote them, he sang them, he lived them.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Always remember me when I die. Take care of the family, please thank God.
Well, Assistant Commissioner of Police Emrick Seymour telling ZNS News this evening that the investigation into Munnings' fatal shooting is nearing completion and the matter will be transferred to the coroner's court for a final determination. Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues right after this.